If down the line you're looking at Joshua and Deontay, two good-looking, well-spoken, massive heavyweights with tremendous credentials, were to meet for a total unification of the heavyweight division, that's a massive fight. Joshua is a massive star already in the UK. He clearly has tremendous ability, power. He looks the part. He's got the amateur pedigree, the gold medal. He's got the package. Those are the words of Lou Dibella talking about a potential unification between WBC heavyweight world champion Deontay Wilder, who he promotes, and IBF heavyweight world champion Anthony Joshua. I'm going to continue with another quote here from Lou Dibella talking about Deontay Wilder's upcoming fight against Gerald Washington. Lou Dibella says, he was a star college football player. He's a physical specimen and a great athlete. Deontay is familiar with Washington's style. He's seen him fight. I think it's a more testing fight than Warzek would have been. So again, those are the words of Lou Dibella talking about the upcoming Wilder-Washington fight. Now, first of all, what he says there about Joshua, Wilder's team have been talking about unifying with Parker, and now they're talking about unifying with Joshua. These are positive signs. A lot of people have been very negative and very down about the heavyweight division at the moment. I don't know why. They've been saying, oh, the top guys are not fighting each other. They're all undefeated. Rome wasn't built in a day, people. All the ingredients are there for these guys to fight each other, for great fights to happen, for this era that we're in now to flourish and turn into a very memorable era in the division's history. All the ingredients are there. Eventually, these guys will fight each other. We've already got Joshua fighting Klitschko, a potential passing of the torch fight. So I don't know what people are so upset about. People get so wrapped up in the past and being negative that they actually miss a lot of the great things that are going on in the heavyweight division. Over the past few years, we have had great fights. Even in Joshua's career, he had a great fight with Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte had a great fight with Derek Chisora. It was a tragic ending, but there was a great fight between Mike Perez and Magomed Abdusalamov. There have been other great fights in the heavyweight division. Luis Ortiz, had an entertaining fight with Bryant Jennings. There's always something interesting going on in the heavyweight division if people actually want to look at the positive and not just focus on the negative. And again, I was around in the 80s and 90s. I remember the best heavyweight era is widely regarded as the best heavyweight era since the 70s, and that was the 1990s, when you had Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield, Lennox Lewis, Riddick Bowe, Michael Moorer, David Tua, so on and so forth. Ike Ibuchi, you had all these guys. And others. Shannon Briggs even. And these guys, the top guys, didn't all fight each other immediately. It took a long time to make Lennox Lewis versus Evander Holyfield. Years. That fight was years in the making. It took years to make Holyfield versus Tyson. That fight was supposed to happen before Tyson went to prison. He lost to Buster Douglas. Holyfield beat Douglas. He became the champion. The fight was still supposed to happen. Then Tyson obviously went to prison. He came out of prison. Eventually the fight happened when really Holyfield was past his best. People will say Tyson was past his best too, but I can tell you right now, Holyfield was past his best. So they had to wait years and years for the Holyfield fight. Then they had to wait years and years for Holyfield versus Lewis. And then years and years more for Lewis versus Tyson. And Tyson was past his best by the time that fight happened. I mean, you look at Lewis versus Vitaly Klitschko. That fight happened impromptu. That fight was a long time in the making. It maybe wasn't the most anticipated fight, but a lot of people rated Klitschko at the time. Klitschko was WBO champion. He was, or he'd been WBO champion, sorry. I'm not sure if he was WBO champion when he fought Lewis. I don't think he was. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's a long time ago. But he'd been WBO champion. He knocked out Herbie Hyde to get that title. In fact, yeah, he either relinquished it or did he lose it to Chris Bird? I think he lost it. Yeah, he did. He lost it to Chris Bird, didn't he? My memory's coming back to me. He injured himself in that fight, and Chris Bird, I think, won a WBO title from him. So on and so forth. Anyway, without getting bogged down in history too much. So the moral of the story is, Rome wasn't built in a day. As long as the ingredients are there for great heavyweight matchups to take place, then don't worry too much and enjoy the fights that are taking place right now. Huey Fury versus Joseph Parker, that should be coming up. That's a good fight. Joshua Klitschko, that's a good fight. You know? Deontay Wilder versus Gerald Washington. I expect Wilder to win, but if Washington brings some heart, that could be a good fight. And then after that, again, Deontay Wilder's showing a lot of positive signs. His team is showing a lot of positive signs. They seem to want to unify. So, you know, don't get down about this whole situation, people. You know, I'm a glass is half full type person rather than glass is half empty, particularly when it comes to boxing. If I was as negative as some of you guys about boxing, I wouldn't even watch it. I don't even know why some of you guys even watch boxing. You're so negative about the sport. And again, I lived through certainly one of the eras which people consider a great era in the heavyweight division. And I'm telling you, it wasn't considered great by most of the critics at the time. Most of them were just slating the division constantly, saying, oh, it's terrible. Oh my God, Tyson needs to come back. Particularly when Tyson was in prison, all they did was just slag the division off all the time. Say the heavyweight division is terrible. But it's actually good. And when Tyson came out, people discovered that it was actually a good division because Holyfield beat Tyson and everyone was like, wow, okay. So actually Holyfield is better than we thought he was. So on and so forth. So anyway, those are my thoughts on this whole Deontay Wilder, Lou Dibella, his team coming out and saying what they're saying. I also agree with Lou Dibella about Washington being a better fight than Warzek would have been. So yeah, anyway, let me know how you feel in the comment section below. It's your boy Hatman, I'm out.